A pleasure to meet y'all at last. And now, it's come to my attention that here on the Vlog-A-Thon, I feel like there's not quite a lot I have talked about in terms of what I've been purchasing. Since the last issue of the Vlog-A-Thon had ever come around, the last season, more to say, Part 4, which came out in late 2020, now that nearly 2 years have passed since that happened, I'd say it's about time to update y'all on a lot of stuff that has happened. First of all, a new camera is pretty much there, as you can see from the reflection of my phone, which is also something brand new. So this is new, this is new. Wow, I also got myself this energy drink, not to mention clothes. So, of course, this is a shirt that I've had for a while, but to talk about this collectible sweater, which I had crafted for me back in Wisconsin Dells, the old school Wisconsin Dells wolf logo, complete with this Ariat cap. I'd say that the lime green and dark gray really helps to accent the nice banana yellow on the sweater. Now, of course, as I've just said, we got the energy drink. But let's not forget, money of mine has gone on to a lot of great stuff. Of course, you probably already realized the fact that there's been tons of other things I bought in recent years. New Nerf blasters, new Hot Wheels, especially with the track and models themselves. And not to mention, probably my biggest purchase of all, that Nissan Juke. That in and of itself is a pretty big story. And of course, in comparison to my last vehicle, which was a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4x4, I'd say it's not only a huge step up, a nice big upgrade in comparison, but it really does do a lot more than what you might think of it. It's essentially a gas-electric hybrid. There aren't too many out there that could cost about 13 grand or less. So I can be especially thankful to those guys out there in Bergstrom, Oshkosh, which is about 80 miles away from here. It took me well over 1 hour to get there. And even back from Bergstrom out here to Menominee Falls. But the point is that spending a nice 13 grand on this vehicle alone, making it the biggest purchase I've ever made for myself thus far, certainly is an endeavor of a lifetime. And I really am more than just proud to be a nice big owner of a gas electric hybrid vehicle. This is, of course, not just any Nissan Juke SL front wheel drive gas electric hybrid, but it is in fact a bunch more than what you might think of it. It does combine the usage of electrical overdrive, ergo the electric portion of its driving, whereas it mostly has the power of fossil fuels. It even is compatible with the nice cheap biofuel known as E85, which not many vehicles are compatible with it, but this one apparently can run on E85 safely and effectively. And it can also even cost less than most other unleaded fuels. E88 and E89 premium, whatnot. So it's a huge deal to me. Especially when this is a time when gas prices are well over double the amount that they used to be in. In 2018 alone, we'd probably pay for no more than $1.30 a gallon. But here in November 2022, about $3 a gallon out here in Menominee Falls. So in comparison, you can probably think of it as a problem. Or if you're like me, think of it as a day of fortune. Spending money on E85 is going to be significantly less than compared to most unleaded fuels. But when it comes to other things that I bought that were brand new, well, I did get myself a new laptop for my birthday, so goodbye to that old HP, or even the Asus X555, which pretty much just expired naturally, but was also damaged after some things fell on top of it. Then of course, well, with the combination of other things, I could very well even talk about the fact that because of my nice new iPhone, I do in fact have myself my entire gigantic iTunes library. Well over 8,000 songs I have pieced together on that entire library alone. years and years of downloading stuff of all sorts, it certainly has been quite a ride. Even today, I don't have to spend money of any kind on that stuff. But I really should be a little more cautious. All this spending could be a little reckless over time. Having to save more and spend less would probably be helpful at this time of year. Even though it might be a point where in my current full-time work, I could probably get up to double my current wage. Even though I am already getting a nice $3 increase every hour, it's safe to say a lot of things could potentially happen. Do I have to worry about it? Perhaps. The cost of living, I have myself a nice studio, which could cost me about $550 a month after taxes and all that, after everything's put together. But of course, everything is as it should be. And spending is probably not going to be a top priority at this moment because there's only so much stuff I can, in fact, afford. This one energy drink alone, one can of rain, $3.50 a can. 16 ounces of this is $3.50. And albeit it does have a nutrition facts label that tells me I'm only consuming 10 calories per 16 ounces of this stuff, not to mention 0 sugars. How's that for a reality check? Not to mention a few types of vitamins and minerals, which are all extremely high values, as you can see. 250% vitamin B12 and 120% vitamin B6. That is a ton of vitamin B by any means. So is it totally worth spending $3.50 on? Probably not very much. I could use $3.50 to get just over a full gallon of E85 on my juke. And even then, I don't necessarily know how well that's gonna do in terms of my bank accounts or my credit statements. But regardless of what's there, I'm just more than proud of how far I've come along on certain things. I've even spent extra money sometimes on trips. Like when I basically went to the likes of Carolina, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., and a select few other locations as well. So that's just pretty much what you need to know in a nutshell in terms of what I've spent my money on and how well have I been doing with my life in terms of spending or saving. So that's just pretty much what you need to know on all those ends, but do be sure to check out more stuff on the channel as I will have things come along, and eventually Vlog-A-Thon 5.0 is going to take a huge turn to something different.